Let's get some potions. Actually, we'll just sell and pick up some more health. These aren't so useful to us, so we're just going to sell those off. But the rest are pretty useful. Okay. Let's head back and see what we can do. Alright, deeper we get. Yeah. Oh no. A bunch of dudes. Are we stuck? We are stuck. So. That's something that you don't see happen all that much anymore.
Greetings.
In modern Diablo games, is getting stuck on the terrain.
This place has the stench of demons about it.
In newer versions of games, you can't really get stuck on the terrain. It is also nice to just be able to quit out when something like that happens. Unfortunately, it does also mean that because we didn't find the waypoint down there, we will have to run back. But that's okay,
Not enough mana.
because we know the way. Nice part about single player is the map is not randomized each time, so we know exactly how to get near where we want to go. Those are just normal demons. Whatever, we can kill them and get their experience. Oh yeah, skull. Could be useful. If we can find something that gives us passive mana regeneration, that would be nice. Yeah, regenerate mana. Armor and helms. So we definitely want that. That will help us with our low... not stats, but our low energy build. Yeah, energy.
The slow torture of caged starvation.
So there were some uniques back here, so we're gonna go and make sure they die. Very nice. Okay, so we can take these now. All this is really nice. Iron Maiden is pretty good, but we don't need it just yet. It is another curse that gives us the ability to have extremely high damage enemies kill themselves. It does return 200% of the damage. Problem is that it doesn't necessarily really do all that much compared to what we can pump out with other spells. So, we will take 1 point in this eventually to get to here. And beyond that, I think we're going to keep improving our skeletons. Alright. Let's give ourselves more vitality. So we will eventually want as many skulls in our equipment as possible. It will give us the maximum amount of health regeneration, which we do definitely care about. We're going to ignore these guys. And then let's go down here and not get stuck this time. Okay, very nice. And we can only have 5, so that works. But yeah, there are some things you can do in single player that you can't do. So for instance, if we wanted to if we know that there are some uniques that spawn back there. What we could do is go and just reload the game again and again and again and kill that unique. So this is this one of those hidden areas? Yes, it is. So in Diablo 2, in the cloister, there are these little hidden treasure rooms. You can find them because they don't have a door, but it looks like they should have a door. And they're closed on all fronts. Yeah, the thing is they just have a little bit of treasure in them. That's about it. I don't think they actually do anything special. I'm not sure if they do. I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess that they don't do anything. Can we get out from multiple ways? I don't actually know, I just want to find out. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. That's fine, let's go and just make our way to the next area. I used to think that if you didn't attack in a direction that the minions would run over there, but I don't think that is a thing. I think just the pause in you moving is what gives them the time to move forward. Alrighty. Poisoning the undead. Alright. Let's go. Is this another one? I mean, I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think there are many that fill up like that, but I know that they exist. That's about the extent of my knowledge of them. Alright, sweet. Alright, let's see. Eagle Orb, that's for sorceresses. Yeah, if you'll notice, like, this game versus Diablo 4, even in, like, the dark area, quote-unquote, dark areas of Diablo 4, like, this would all be very well lit, almost like you'd be outside. So, there is definitely a design choice that has changed over the years. Why did this one look so much darker than everything else? Either way, yeah, things have definitely changed. There's this idea in game design that's called conveyance. It's one of the primary reasons why... Poor guy. It's one of the primary reasons why League of Legends was so much more popular than Heroes of Newerth. Heroes of Newerth, known as Han, was a game that revolved around similar principles to League of Legends. It had champions. It was kind of a Dota clone, just like LoL was back in the day. But Heroes of Newerth, a lot of the... Is this another one? Yes, yes it is.
I need a key.
But Heroes of Newerth had a problem where things weren't as clear as they were in League of Legends. You see, Sacred Globe, what is that? sorcerers. So in League of Legends, allied health bars are green, and enemy health bars are red. In Heroes of New Earth, everyone's health bars are red. So it's harder to tell at a glance how healthy minions were, because you could also assassinate minions, you kill allied creature hero champions and minions to deny the opposing force the money from killing them. Now this sounds really, really nice, and in a lot of ways I think that mechanic of killing them early to deny nice, to deny your adversaries the gold that they would otherwise get. That is pretty... Wait. Okay, it's the wrong way. Oh, weird. I'm wondering what that is, but I think it's just the camera picking up the light. But anyway, the mechanic for picking up the for killing allied minions is not new just to Han either. It was something that has existed for a little while. Anyway, so I think it's been picked up by some new Dota-like games, some new Dota clones. Anyway, that's the point. But conveyance in League of Legends, allied health bars are green, enemy health bars are red, and this works fantastically. At least, well, it works fantastically overall. Here's a New Earth. Han does not have that feature, and so you instead have something where you have to pay attention to what color every enemy is and all that good stuff. That led to essentially it having an extra level, an extra skill that people needed to pick up. And in a lot of ways, us veteran gamers will look at that and say, oh, well, that's not a big deal. But it can be a big deal. Because you have to think about it. When you look at people playing the game, you're really looking at the lowest common denominator. You're always looking at blah. You're always looking at who is playing the game, what kind of minimum skill are you setting down when you design the mechanics of your game. And for Han, that created a little bit of a little pressure point there, I suppose, that actually negatively impacted their game. Didn't need to be the case, but it is how things went. Why am I putting that there? This is the usual setup for most players in Diablo 2. If you have not played this game before, and you are considering checking it out, this is generally what people do. They'll have their Tomes of Town Portal, because it isn't free, in D2, and they'll have their Tomes of Identify. When you get to Diablo 3, I think, and Diablo 4 for sure, items are already identified. You don't need someone to identify them. And town portals are you just press a button and you go back to town, and there's no problems with that. But yeah. Alright, let's make our way back. We're most of the way through Act 1, which is nice. And I know that there's a boss over here that we can kill. Should be pretty easy overall. He has a lot of allies. Very nice. Down they all go. So we killed the unique and stuff. The reason we didn't fully buy all of the town portals is because we can just get some extra scrolls here and there. So it's not a big deal. Alright. And just because we can, let's go to video options. Contrast is already maxed out. Can't make it any brighter. We have a light shining on it, so that makes it has an impact. Okay, so oh boy. We have a lot of health, but that still did quite a bit of damage to us. Let's grab a mana potion and a healing potion. What with that? He has a skull cap. Might be able to use that. Let's see what it is. I mean, this we could put the chipped skull into, which we should probably do at some point.
I sense a demonic presence here.
Oh no, those guys. These guys are from Act 3. And they can just do a decent chunk of damage to you fairly quickly. But alright, let's keep going. Alright, down they go. I want you to imagine you're playing a glass cannon build, and that happens. They seem to just pop out of nowhere. Pop out of the darkness. Are you happy about that, or are you not? How do you feel about that? Because that honestly becomes an aspect of the game. Do you... let's get rid of these corpses so he starts being able to use them. Okay, cool. Down he goes. Got some throwing axes that we can't use. Okay. So this game, dirks are like tier 2 daggers. That's all they are. And alright, let's go. There is definitely an aspect in this game where if you have certain rune words, or items, you can move around a lot more quickly. And that is definitely an aspect of the game that can come into play.
I need mana.
Ooh. Oh no. He has Holy Fire. Excellent. He's dead. He didn't die, he just ran away. Down he goes. Alright. Hopefully we can make our way to Ariandel. Ariandel? I know it's not Ariandel. Okay, so I think Catacombs 2 is where the waypoint is. Where's this shrine now? I think it's number 2 where the waypoint is. I love that our skeletons will open doors as well. I am certain that at some point I will not like that they can do that, because they will open a door and then we'll get killed because of it. Alright, so arachnophobia. Wait. What was that? It was nothing. That's just the sound of them dying. I thought there was a shrunken head that we could use. Ah, there we go. Very nice. really have anything that we need to go back for, so let's keep going. Don't need to go on the other side, so let's go. The waypoint is almost always after something like this, if memory serves correctly. Alright, so the main thing we have to keep in mind with our Ariandel. It sounds weird. It sounds weird. I know it's not Ariandel. It isn't Dark Souls. Ariandel? Oh well, we'll figure it out when we run into her. Okay, he's dead. Those guys are dead. The Dark Shaman is down. We have a special Dirk. Very nice. Let's go smack him around. And it's wild. We haven't leveled up our decks at all. We're still able to hit these guys. Guess it makes sense. In some way, shape, or form. Alright. I mean, that's nice. Extra decks, I'll take it. Alright, so let's try just going to the southwest then. As far away from the waypoint as possible. I do like how the sound design has changed. I mean, the Fallen, when in Diablo 4, they make this sort of like, I don't know, like maraca sound, almost. It's supposed to sound like a rattlesnake, I think. Okay, so now here I have no idea where we might want to go to get to Ariandel. Andariel? I think it's Andariel, not Ariandel. Alright, so let's keep going. Yeah, I think it's Andariel. Okay, extra life. Extra light. Yeah, sure, why not? Doesn't give us any extra belt slots, but it helps. Alright, free experience. And who knows, it could be over here where we need to go. Sure. But as our dudes teleport over... Get stone skin? Alright, sounds good. Fantastic. And a puke chew has gone down. Very nice. What I think was interesting in Diablo 4 when we were checking that out is that the player feedback that a lot of people have pointed out doesn't seem to really be there. So, for instance, a lot of players felt that they would get frostbitten, I guess is the way to put it. They would get frozen. They didn't think there was enough feedback for that. My experience was that whenever something would freeze you, it did. It didn't seem to be that big of a deal, but maybe some characters were more frost-resistant than others. Okay, let's see if we can find Andariel. I'm just gonna guess it's Andariel. It's probably in the quest log. Andariel! Very nice. Ah. Excellent. The power.
I have a burden.
Righty. Yeah, the power of corpse explosion in this game. Okay. Just so we can be absolutely certain it isn't right over here, we're gonna run through there and just... Okay. Ooh. I don't think it'll be here, but let's go check it out anyway. Okay, it's not over there. Weird. I mean, when you're playing on Battle.net, I assume that not being able to click on something or something taking a hot second was pretty normal, you know, because of lag. But for it to happen in single player is bizarre. So my skeletons got teleported inside of that. Nice. Okay, so it's not in these. It might be over there, so we should go check that next. Just so we can be sure. Oh, also, whenever we increase endurance, we also get more, or vitality, we also get more stamina, so we can run further. Okay, it's not over here. Therefore, it'll have to be to the southeast. So, let's make our way over there. Alright, very nice.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright. Let's just go to town real quick and drop stuff off.
Greetings.
Okay, we both need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Not worried about the sapphires. We really just want skulls, because that lets us replenish our low mana. Get rid of these. And alright, I guess we can get rid of these lesser mana potions as well. Alright, sounds good. What? Huh? Okay. The one of the things about playing Diablo 2 this way is that you can easily get over into the other screen.
Greetings.
Hello, Charcy.
Hi there. I'm Charcy. When I fled the monastery,
Alright, so she left her mall at the monastery, at the monastery. Yeah, we'll go do it after we kill Ariendo? Whatever her name is. Join my... No, that's not her. She's not join my army of the dead. She's something like your blood will boil, I think. Your blood will boil, maybe. Possibly. So here's the thing. We want as few enemies as possible to be exploded. Because we're going to use their corpses like crazy. We have lots of hit points, we're not too worried about that. I don't think we put down a town portal back there. Which we totally should, because we would probably die. Okay, we did, we're good. We're good, let's go kill Ariandel? Andariel. So many names. So she will be at the back. Okay, there she is. And yes, she hits like a truck.
I need mana.
Hopefully that gave us some more corpses. We are working our way through her. So, yeah, she'll do that attack that will kill your pets pretty easily. Also kill you very quickly. I think it's time to do a tactical withdrawal. And heal up. Get our mana back. Restock our belts. As she sprays the wall with poison. Alright, down she goes. Fantastic.
Spawned you, Andariel.
Dude spawns just to be killed. Hello, new viewer. How are you? We just killed Ariandel with a minion mancer. Alright. Sounds good. Remember back in the day when we were kids, we thought this was so cool. And then, you know, later you just... You find all the references they're going for. It's like, less cool, but still cool. It's like, when you're a kid, you think spiky armor looks really cool. That's the aesthetic, man. It's got all these spikes and stuff on it. And then you get older and realize, understand how armor works. And you're like, that crap's useless. Why would you ever wear that?
Finally, we may rejoice. The Order welcomes you.
It's just like, man, what is this crap? This thing would just breaks immediately. It's stuck on everything.
Great victory indeed. Good day.
It was always just really funny. Alright. So, this is something that I don't think actually return in later games, which is ethereal weapons. So ethereal weapons, they cannot be repaired in any way, shape, or form, but trade-off is that they are really tough. They're really powerful. as a result of that. We don't need it. This is all just trash loot for us. One thing I would have liked to have seen in Diablo 2, at least the single-player version of it, is gear that is only specified to your character. That isn't quite what they did. Okay, so this is nice. We probably will never use it. We do want to eventually get a bunch of skulls and use those. I want to see if I can find recipes that give us skulls and stuff. I know there are magic find builds that can get you lots and lots of skulls so that you can do whatever it is you're trying to do with them, but I don't know. We will see. Alright, we need to go get the Herodric thingamajig. The Herodric thingamabobber. The Herodric whatchamacallit. So, let's go get her mole, shall we? It seemed like in this game they just kind of put Herodric in front of whatever they could find and then called it a day. It's the Herodric. No question. Ow. And the nice part about having so much health is that we can really just run past things and be absolutely fine. Alright, we kind of need to get over there, I think. So, let's go find where that mole is. So some of the things that exist in the game is champions are just buffed up versions. Then you have possessed, which can't be cursed. So, and on Battle.net, if I remember correctly, they tend to show up pretty commonly. Ah, there you go. Okay, that sort of looks like where the smith is. I was wrong. Okay, he's not a minion. That means no, we don't have to worry about him. We just kill. Okay, let's go see if we can find where the smith is. Alright. As long as we keep him busy, our minions will kill all, our skeletons will kill off his minions. Everything will work out just fine. Our big wall over here. Doesn't look like he's over there. It's okay though. There he is. It's so cheesy. Make weapons from your fools. Oh dear. Alright, the Herodric mouse.
For a hammer.
I never realized how cheesy that was.
Oh, thanks so much for... What can
And
I
so
do
now
for you?
she can imbue an item for us. It's basically just a free reroll on that item, but it makes it higher quality. The main thing that you want to keep in mind, though, is if you're going to use it on BNet and you actually want to play the character, well, you're going to play the game like later, you want to wait until you are much, much higher level. So you can save those between difficulties, and I think how it works is you want to try and get to... The meta is you try to get to max level, and then you use them. Then you use that to get really good gear, or you unlock everything first, and yeah, it's just is what it is. But alright,
The caravan is prepared.
let's go.
And Dariel's death.
And Dariel's Day.
Greetings.
Sounds great. Let's make our way over
Yes,
to Act 2.
this is a great victory indeed.
Okay, sounds good.
Good evening.
Go east. Fantastic.
Greetings, honored traveler.
Sounds good.
Now that Andariel is...
So Act 2. There's really a toss-up between Act 1 and Act 2 as to which one people like more or less. In Act 2, if you are playing through Act 2 normally, people don't really have a problem with Act 2. If you are trying to be rushed through normal difficulty, people tend to have a fairly... That lady's head is floating. Anyway. If you are playing through Act 2 and you're trying to be rushed through Act 2, then people tend to really dislike this this act. Simply because there are a lot of things that get in the way, that stop you from completing the game. Stop you from completing the quest. But that is that. We would have to use this to complete that. And then there is all of this. But alright guys, that's all the time I have for Diablo 2 right now. If you really like this, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to see more on YouTube of this, then make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If we get, say, 20 likes, we will continue on in Diablo 2, but we're going to go check out Diablo 3 at some point in the near future. We may check out the Necromancer, but that was added later. And what you will find is that the Necromancer from Diablo 3 is very similar to the Necromancer from Diablo 4, almost. When I was looking through it, through its class features, they almost seemed identically named. So I have a feeling that they took a lot of the mechanics of Diablo 3's Necromancer and just sort of modified them a little bit and ported them over to Diablo 4. I don't know if Necromancer showed up in Diablo Immortal. No idea, because I never played it, because it's overly monetized. But, yeah. Who knows? Who knows? But we will definitely be checking out Diablo 3. We'll probably be doing a Witch Doctor, because that was the Necromancer equivalent back in the day. Just so we can see how that has aged and what lessons they learned from that, the pre-Necromancer to the Necromancer in Diablo 4. As I said, they kind of just lifted a lot of things from Diablo 3's Necromancer and just plopped them right into Diablo 4 and made some modifications to them. They aren't that different. Alright guys, I will see you all later, and probably Diablo 3. And we'll come back to this if it gets enough likes in YouTube. But until then, my name has been Fred Muir, and I will catch you guys next time. Bye everyone. So we are just enjoying a little bit of this game. We did Act 1 on Twitch, and now we are coming over to YouTube for Act 2, just to test the waters. Right, everything seems to be alright here. Everything seems live over there. That's good. Let's go ahead and get into it. Alright, so we had just come over here. We had just started, really. And, well, let's continue making our way forward, shall we? But alright. The OBS is nice, but it doesn't necessarily tell me everything that I want to know. So let's come over here. All right. Let's do this. So I know that quest 1 is over here with this lady, so let's go talk to her.
I don't expect this of you.
She's going to tell us that she wants us to go into the sewers and kill someone. I forget his name. But we're going to go do that. That gets us a free skill points and some other things. We are playing a summoner necromancer here. And we don't have any map hacks or anything installed. We are playing offline, so we could. But we just don't have them enabled just yet. It defeats the purpose. But alright. So we should probably at some point get a mercenary again. Just so we have a little bit easier of a time. We really need to get our skeletons up. So we'll focus on that instead. Yeah, once we have our skeleton army going, we should be perfectly fine to go and just plow through everything. But alright. We could also return just to Act 1 and get our minions that way, but as you can see, we really don't need to. How many skeletons can we have? It's been a little bit. 5 skeletons. Sounds good.
I need mana.
Alrighty. Okay, there seems to be some fossils over here. Let's go take care of that. Alright, we have someone with stone skin. Nice. Skeletons will make short work of him. Very nice. We'll level it up again. So, our strategy is to put lots of points into raise skeleton. If we go with Golem Mastery, that does open us up over here at level 24. We are level 14, so that would probably be suboptimal. So we're not going to worry too much about that. Alrighty. Let's go, everyone. So we're putting a lot of our points into Vitality. Simply because that's all we really need. I think one of our skeletons died. Oh, it's the extra from our one. So let's go ahead and keep making our way forward. These guys, when they die, they have a big poison cloud. So we're going to try and avoid that as much as we can. And just get some easy free cash while we can. You'll notice between Diablo 2 and Diablo 4 there is a fairly large difference in not necessarily the, well, definitely the visual fidelity. But there's a difference between how they sort of present their world. So in Diablo 2, everything outside of this light radius is just pitch black. And in Diablo 4, if you played in the open beta, you would have seen that this doesn't exist anymore. You can just see as far as the screen goes. The reason for that is, as we've seen over the years, people prefer to be able to see what's going on. So when you deny them that, they tend to not like it as much. Anyway, that's why you didn't see Return of Everything's Pitch Black. I think even in Path of Exile, they had things relatively easy to see. Alright, just wait for that to go away. Turn that back on. Fantastic. And let's go ahead and make our way forward. We want to find the entry to level 2. And we want to let our minions go and plow through everything. The Clay Golem in this version has a slowing effect on enemies, so he is kind of our boss killer. Or he helps us kill bosses, I suppose, is the way to put it. I think we're going to end up near the... yeah, near this. Sounds good. He offers us mercenaries.
I bet you wonder how this town needs some help.
We can hire his mercenaries, so we are level 14. So our... oh man, I forget what their... I forget what each one's aura is. Let me look into that just real quick. So 2 Act 2 mercenary auras. Yeah, the desert mercenaries. So these guys are really good for us. So in normal and hell they have prayer, defiance, and blessed aim. So let's see, what does prayer do? Heals our party members at the expense of mana. We don't really care about healing our skeletons. We can always just make more of them. Defiance boosts defense. We don't really care about that either. And blessed aim increases their attack rating, which makes them hit more often. That I do actually want, though healing them could prove useful. Though not as... it could also keep the mercenary alive. So there is that. But let's see what we'll do instead. So, do we want healing? We want them to hit more often. So that's offensive. And then later it will be Holy Freeze, where, and if we get to Nightmare, we'll be using defensive versions of these guys because they have Holy Freeze. There's also Might, which increases their damage, but we want them to hit as often as possible, so we're going to be going with offense. Alright, offensive. Yes, go ahead. Okay, so this guy, as long as he stays alive, will be very, very useful to us. Okay, so let's go down, and I think we can move this, right? Yes, we can. I'm pretty sure the way forward is down here instead of up there. So we're going to make our way over there and just go down to the next level. See if we can kill Rathma or whatever his name is. Rathasma or something. Now the mercenary should be the strongest minion that we have, and he can do mostly physical damage, which means he can more or less do the most damage of any of our servants. These skeletons sort of play second fiddle to him because he's just so powerful. Now because he primarily does physical damage, amplified damage also doubles the damage that he does, which is really nice. Just need to get our hands on a nice little glaive. But he should, after he takes a few hits, he should start his...
Put that to good
oh,
use.
good. Yeah, he hits for 24 to 60 damage, so he's really, really good for us. To put that in perspective, our skeletons hit for about 14 to 16. So he should be going around just like 1 or 2 shotting people. Which is really, really nice. His blessed aim has kicked in now. We can see that here our attack rating is now 194, despite us having no extra bonuses to hit. So yeah, he should be absolutely amazing for us. So he can never get higher level than us, and poison can and will kill him as well. That's the only real downside here. He's not very good at avoiding that. But with everyone keeping him alive, he should be okay. Yeah, as you can see, he just one-shots people, which is fantastic for us. As long as he doesn't die, we should be good. Another
I'm
village.
overburdened.
A magic one here. Ooh, it's ethereal. Let's see. What did we give you? That one, nothing too special. And we have this one over here.
Put that to good use.
Oh yeah, much nicer. Okay, so we have some of those. Let's grab this and let's make our way forward. So, it'd be best to give him a lot of lifesteal if we can. We're sort of trapped in a problem in that we want skulls for ourselves for mana regeneration, so we don't have to spend a whole lot of mana. We don't have to drink a lot of potions just getting our mana out. At the same time, we want lots of lifesteal on his weapon so that he can just almost endlessly heal himself every single time he attacks. Because his AI is going to have him run straight into enemies, which, with all of our minions, is fine, because they'll sort of supplement... Because they can supplement him, they can support him. But, not as useful in from the perspective of him running in and just getting murked by enemies. He's able to, like, 2 one-shot things. When we get to the boss, you'll see a little bit more, but he's really effective at killing stuff. And using Amplify Curse will definitely take him down pretty quickly. It's one of those things where we want to summon the golem back there, so he can take some pressure off of our front line. But alright, sounds good. Let's go ahead and keep making our way forward. We're halfway through our level already, which is pretty good. Alright, is there anything over here? Yes, there is. Ooh, the path forward. Fantastic. If I remember, level 2 has the waypoint, but I'm not going to worry about that too much. Alrighty, let's keep going. And this is where the mercenary's probably going to die. Because he'll get poisoned, and then he'll stay poisoned, and that will be that.
I need a key.
But the poison doesn't last that long, so it's not a big deal. Okay, let's have these desert cats over here now. Luckily we can clear them out pretty quickly. But alright, sounds good. It's too bad that he can't use swords too well. We have this now so we can corpse explosion like crazy. And with him joining us, we don't necessarily need to use corpse explosion as much. We just need to keep him alive. Okay, very nice. Well, Hawk Helm, I think those are specifically for...
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah, I think the Hawk Helms are specifically for the Amazons. Anyway, let's pick this up. Let's pick this up.